Hello, beautiful people. It's another brand new day, and I'm super excited that you tuned into my podcast for today. Thank you so very much. It gives me so much pleasure, and I'm delighted that you tuned in because I know and I'm certain that you become better off than the way you are. It's my commitment to life, and it's my goal to ensure that my listeners become a better version of who they are. Every one of us, we have the capacity to grow, we have the capacity to learn, the capacity to become better on a daily basis. If only we can keep learning on a daily basis. I also want to appreciate everyone who listened to my previous podcast when I talked about maximizing life seasons. And I made us to understand that our lives are governed by seasons. Because these seasons, they determine the food we eat, they determine the clothes we wear, they determine their habits, and so on and so forth. As seasons changes, so also our life changes. Seasons brings us into new realities, new possibilities, and new realities. And so we must understand how to maximize it if we truly want to become better and better. And I also told us that seasons are not constant, they are not static. Means they change from season, from time to time. That's why we should not determine your life based on the season that you are in. You may be in this season of your life may be a trying season, maybe so difficult, and you may like, oh no, when will I get out of this? But I tell you, seasons changes. Seasons are temporary, so never allow your present season to determine your future. Never allow that. And so I made us also to understand that these seasons, if only we understand their uniqueness, then we can better maximize it. And I made a promise in my previous podcast that I will talk about the 4 major seasons and how they are relevant to our lives and how we can possibly maximize it. And so the first season I'll be talking on today's podcast is spring. The spring season. Spring, also known as springtime, is one of the 4 temperate seasons, succeeding winter and preceding summer. At the spring, days and nights are approximately 12 hours long, with daytime length increasing and nighttime length decreasing as the season progresses. What this means is that in springtime we have longer days and shorter nights. So there's more daylight compared to night. So the nights are very short. And this is so pivotal. This is so important in our lives, that this season called the spring is one of the most beautiful seasons of the year. It's so unique because it has lots of potentials in it that can help us relate with it better and make us as humans become a better person. Spring and springtime refer to the season and also to ideas of rebirth, rejuvenation, renewal, resurrection, and regrowth. Yes, this time of the year, the springtime, it's a wonderful time. Many animals reproduce in the spring when temperatures are warmer and food is plentiful. Spring also brings green growth back to plants and trees. In spring, the weather usually turns warmer, trees begin to grow their leaves, plants start to flower, and young animals such as chicks and lambs are born. So this time of spring is a time of rebirth. That means it's the birth of a new vision, it's the birth of a new business, the birth of a new relationship, the birth of anything. And that's why in my previous podcast I was telling each and every one of us that our seasons are different. So you may just be in your spring season, you may be in your season of birthing, a season of whereby it's a season of new beginnings. That's what the springtime is for. a season of what? New beginnings. And so, just imagine you just starting up with a business, starting up in a career, starting up in a relationship, and you are comparing yourself with someone who has been in that business or career or that relationship for a long time. You see, it doesn't work, it doesn't follow. That's it in life. It's like we're taught in philosophy, non sequitur. It means it doesn't follow. So that's how life is. So you may be in your beginning season. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Because the first and hardest step you can ever take is the first step. The first step is always the hardest, because why? You are afraid. Why? You are kind of you are bothered about what people will say. What if, and the ifs. What if I succeed, or what if I fail, and so on and so forth. But I can tell you, the first step is the most important steps, and sometimes it proves to be the hardest. So don't be afraid to take little steps on a daily basis, because these little steps, they are what will guarantee a beautiful future. If a farmer understands this principle, that's why the farmer starts with a seed. He will plant a seed, and after time, that seed becomes a matured tree. The same it is with life. So never despise your days of little beginnings, because though the beginning may be small, I tell you, your end will be glamorous. It will be beautiful. It will be amazing, and people will like, wow. So do not be afraid to start a new task. Do not be afraid to dream again. Do not be afraid to start afresh, because if you choose not to start afresh, time is still going. But if you understand this and you have this mindset that there is always time to do a new thing, always never give up on life. No matter what life may have thrown at you, no matter your challenges, no matter your difficulties, be willing to get back once again. Mary Pickford once said, "You may have a fresh start any moment you choose. For this thing that we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down." It is not the falling down, but the staying down. Because every successful man and woman that have ever lived, they have recorded a number of failures. I can tell you that. So don't give up. Always be willing to begin again. Be willing to start afresh. Be willing to dream again. The springtime is a unique season of new beginnings. That's when plants begin to bud, they begin to grow, animals begin to reproduce. So tell us that there is always something new. Lao Tzu once said, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." Very true. It begins with a single step. So in this season too, as I'm likening the springtime to our times of beginning. You may be beginning a new task, beginning a new job. Don't give up. Don't allow the challenges and the obstacles at the moment deter you from achieving your goal and your objectives. I tell you that never allow that. Be willing to be a beginner every single morning. Every single morning. Every day you wake up, never allow the defeats of yesterday to weigh you down. Wake up with enthusiasm. Wake up with positive mindset, telling yourself, I can achieve better. Even though I failed yesterday, I can do better. Because every day ushers in a new beginning. A new beginning. That's what every day offers. And so, you can dream again. You can believe again. You can do so much more if only you are willing to start. Never forget that. You can do much more. Even though the beginnings may look very discouraging, don't give up. Never give up. Choose to remain hopeful despite the dark moment. And that's one of the traits of the spring season, because it brings new joys. It brings so much. So choose to remain hopeful, irrespective of the dark moment, irrespective of what life has thrown at you. Choose to remain hopeful. And also, the season of spring is another time to change. It's another time to, because like I said earlier on, we have more days, there is longer days and shorter nights. So it's another time to dream more, to become, to change. Like I said, seasons make us to change and we can adapt to it. So be willing to take the steps and be determined to take on what the world has to throw at you. If only you can begin now at in your period of spring, which is your beginning, your new beginning, then your winter will be amazing and blessed. So do not give up. Always be willing to start afresh, to dream again, to take that right step that will take you to your destination. So never allow the challenges of life to weigh you down. Be willing to begin. You can start a new business. You can start a new career. You can start a new relationship. You can do so much. Never allow challenges to weigh you down. So you can be in your spring season, and others are in maybe in their summer or in their winter season or autumn season. Don't allow them to intimidate you. Understand your season. If every one of us understand our season, then there will be no need for unhealthy competition. There's no need for we trying to pull others down, because I can tell you, nobody's holding down your success. Only you can do that. Only you can do that. Never allow anyone, never allow anybody to put an embargo on you, to put a label on you that you don't want. Be willing to begin again. Be willing to start afresh, irrespective of anything life has thrown at you. I will end today's podcast with a quote by Mel Gibson, which says, "It's a wise man who understands that every day is a new beginning. Because boy, how many mistakes do you make in a day? I don't know about you, but I make plenty. You can't turn the clock back, so you have to look ahead. You have to look ahead. Never despise the days of little beginnings. Never despise the days of little beginnings, because though your beginnings are small, your end will be great." Thank you so very much for listening to my podcast for today. Thank you so much. So in my next podcast, that's my episode 3 of this series, Maximizing Life Seasons, I'll be talking about the summer, the benefits of the summer and how they relate to our lives as humans and how we can better maximize it. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. I remain your host, Andrew Ologbo. It's my pleasure that you tuned in. Thank you so much. You can reach me via my social media handles on Instagram at Andrew Ologbo. Andrew, ANDR, lowercase, ANDRAWOLOGBO. On LinkedIn as Ologbo Andrew. On Facebook as Andrew Ologbo. On Twitter at Ologbo_Andrew. Thank you so very much. See you next time. Have a beautiful new week and remain energized, remain motivated. Thank you. See you at the top. Thanks.